is 5 to the 4th power. In this case, 5 is the base, and 4 is what's called the exponent. 5 to the 4th power is the same as 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. You can think of this as the exponent of 4 tells us we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the bases multiplied by each other. And make sure you're careful because 5 to the 4th power is 625. So much larger than what most students believe as 20. Now, if we apply that concept to a base that is a decimal, okay, so keep in mind this little decimal point here tells us that it is a value that is in between 3 and the next number up, which is 4. So this is a decimal value that falls in between 3 and 4. So I know when I write this out in product form, it will have 3 because my exponent is 3 in pink, and it will have 1, 2, 3 places there to multiply the 3 and 8/10, which is my base. Therefore, it will look something like this. Notice that the base is written in each of the 3 blanks, and the exponent of 3, the pink exponent, is matching up with these 3 pink lines. Multiplication signs are placed in between your bases. Once you calculate it, you would type 3.8 times 3.8 times 3.8 in your calculator, and you should get 54 and 872 thousandths. Take note of your decimal. Do not leave that decimal out, please. So if we tackle this 2/5 as the base, 3 as the exponent, you will automatically see that we're going to set this up with 3 values multiplied by each other. You can think of it as 2/5 times 2/5 times 2/5. So looking at this as 2/5 times 2/5 times 2/5, when you multiply fractions, you multiply the numerators by each other. Numerators in this case are the 2's, and 2 times 2 times 2. This dot right here will also represent the multiplication symbol. It is different than a decimal. A decimal would be low here, but the multiplication dot is going to go more up in the center. So at this point, you're really just multiplying 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So the numerator will have a value of 8, and we're going to look at our denominator. 5 times 5 is 25, and 25 times 5 is 125. Think of this as 5 quarters would be $1.25, so 5 groups of 25 would be 125, and then you just write that as your denominator. Students are also having trouble with these parentheses. Remember, parentheses will just group that value as one value. So this is the same thing as 1/3 to the 5th power. So what we're doing here is we're taking 1/3 to the 5th power, and we are writing it as 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3. 5 of those 1/3s. So what you're doing here is you're taking this value here, and you are writing it as a product of its factors, the base 1/3. The concept is you're taking 1 to the 5th power, and that gives you your numerator, because 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is still going to give you 1. And then your 3 to the 5th power is going to be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is going to be 243. So just remember, you can email me with questions, or you can comment with questions. Either one will be a good option for you if you need help. Thank you and have a wonderful day.